Mhm.
Today we can learn full object-oriented programming concepts end to end. In object-oriented programming, what all concepts we have? Encapsulation, inheritance, abstraction, polymorphism, class and object also will come under the object-oriented programming language. I have a class, just taking variable string name, int age, double salary, I'll create method string get name, return type is a string type, so we are returning the start name. Get age method is returning integer. If you want to get the salary, you have get salary method. Public void print string method. This method I'll use for printing the employee object. Name equal to the start name equal to start age salary equal to start salary. Now I have a class. Inside a class employee, I have three non-static variables and I have three methods: getting the name, getting the age, getting the salary. Get name, get age, get salary, which is returning the current class name and age and salary. I have print string method, which is printing the all values. For creating an object to the class, I am creating employee constructor, which take all the parameters as arguments. Now this start name equal to name. The current class attribute value I am assigning with the local variable of employee constructor. The arguments of a constructor is local to the constructor. Salary equal to salary. Okay. Now I have created employee class. Now what is the class? Class is a blueprint or prototype by which we can create any number of objects. Class is a blueprint or prototype by which we can create any number of objects. In another way, we can call class is a set of attributes and methods. Class is a set of attributes and methods.
మళ్ళీ చేస్తాను నేను క్లాస్లో ఉన్నప్పుడు
Now here if you see, class is a blueprint or prototype. What is blueprint? Blueprint or prototype. We have a page in notebook. If you want to copy the whenever we are writing into the page, if you want to get any other copy, I think we need to use some we can use a paper which will copy the data into the another page also, same data. Similar to that, we have a class. By using the class, we can create any number of real-time objects. We have employee class. By using employee class, we can create any number of objects. Like in one of the company, we have 100 employees. If you want to create number of objects to the employee, we can create a blueprint or prototype as an employee class. Using that blueprint, we can create any number of records. Any number of records means any number of objects. We can use that objects to store into the database, or we can do the manipulations to the data anyway. So we can call the class as a blueprint or prototype, by which we can create any number of objects. That is one kind of definition. And another one is, we can tell the class is a set of attributes. Here we have attributes, 3 attributes: string name and int age, double salary, and we have set of methods. We have get name and get age and get salary. So we can call class is a set of attributes and methods. Now, if you what is the object? Employee, you want to create object, employee emp equal to new employee. Whenever we are calling employee equal to new employee constructor, here we have constructor of 3 arguments. Basically, object is a one unit in the object-oriented programming language. Whenever we call new operator, new and employee constructor, inside the memory, one unit is allocated for the object. Object is a unit in object-oriented programming. Object is a unit in object-oriented programming. Using object, we can get state and behavior of the class. You can get the state and behavior of the real-time entity. We can call this as a, we can tell real-time entity object is a unit in object-oriented programming. Using object, we can get the state and behavior of the entity. Now, whenever we are getting object to the employee, here in this example,
What is entity?
whatever memory allocated for the object in the operating system, that memory you can tell as an entity. If you create a number of objects, number of entities will create in the memory. Whenever we are creating object using employee equal to new employee constructor, using this object is created in the memory. That object we are referring with the reference this emp. Emp is a reference. Now in object we have to learn what is a state. State of the entity is called the attributes which all we have in the employee class. Those attribute values we can tell as a state. We have employee object, employee one. In employee one, the employee one state is the name equal to ABC and age equal to salary. Now I will create one example. I am not writing the code. I am not compiling and doing anything, but I am writing it for our definitions. Employee one equal to employee one, name equal to employee one, and age equal to 20. I am giving salary equal to 20,000. This is one entity. Employee 2 equal to I have two employee objects here. Whenever we are creating object to the employee, we are passing three arguments. Three arguments are the attributes of a object. Three arguments are attributes of a object. Here, this we can tell as a state of the object. Whatever attributes are inside the class, we can represent that attributes as a state. Whatever methods declared in class, by using the methods, we can tell behavior of the entity. State is attributes of the object. Behavior is methods declared in the class, and we can call methods of the object. Now here, by using object, we can get state and behavior of the entity. That is called object. And here we already know this is the identity of the object. By using this identity, we can access the members of the object one. EMPLO. How to get the name of the employee one? Employee one dot get name. By calling this method, we will get the name of the employee one. Employee one dot get age. by using employee one identity. If you want to get the employee 2 name, by using the identity of employee 2, we can get the name of the employee 2. Employee 2 dot get name. These three are just words which we can use in the object definition. What is inheritance? We have seen a lot of examples in inheritance. We have a class. Inside a class, I have some attributes. I have some methods. I have class, child, extents of parent. Definition of the inheritance. We have a class which inherits all the members. All the members means attributes and methods. We have a class which wait 1 second. We have a class which inherits all the members called attributes and methods from the parent class. It's called child class. This is not a direct definition of inheritance, but we can tell we have a pair. We have a child class which inherits all the members called attributes and methods from the parent class. Is called inheritance. Now here we have a child class. We have a child class which inherits all the attributes and methods of parent class. Is called inheritance. These examples we have seen so many examples in inheritance concept. Now next one is what is abstraction. Now this is all related to object-oriented programming. The mainly class and object is not related to object-oriented programming. Those are the just definitions we have learned. Now mainly we have 4 object-oriented programming concepts: inheritance, abstraction, encapsulation, and polymorphism. Abstraction also we already learned. We have seen a lot of examples. I have a class. Inside of class, we have attributes and methods. Similar to the classes, we have abstract classes. In the abstraction word itself, we can see abstraction means hiding the data. Tell what is definition of the abstraction. In a class, if we know give me a minute. Hiding the data in a class is called abstraction. In a class, if we know some essential details need to show, we can create concrete methods, and and which details we don't know, we can declare abstract methods. This abstract methods we can call as hiding the data. See, this abstraction you can tell as hiding the data in a class is called abstraction. What is hiding the data? In a class, if we know some essential details needs to show, we can create concrete methods. Whatever methods is not abstract, we can get the methods in the class. And the which details we don't know, we can declare abstract methods. Whatever methods we don't know, if you want to hide anything, any methods, we can declare that methods as a abstract methods. Here, if you have any data hiding abstraction, we can declare that class as a abstract class. How to achieve the abstraction? How to achieve abstraction? We can achieve abstraction by using abstract class or using interface. Here interface is fully abstract. Now we have seen inheritance and abstraction. We can go and learn about the polymorphism and encapsulation. I have a class in class manager 1. I have public static void, public static int multiply int a comma int b. Here the return type is integer type, so I am returning integer a into b. Public static double multiply double x comma double y. Return x into y. Here I am writing main method. I am not writing everything. String arguments. Inside main method, if you want to call multiply method of manager1, we can call manager1 dot multiply of, if you give integer value, it will take integer value, it will give the multiplication of A and B as a result. Here I am storing this value into the one variable, sum1. Now return type of second method is double. So double sum2 equal to manager1 dot multiply of 10 dot 10 comma 20 dot 20. I am just passing two double variables. I am just getting the value into the one variable. Now here, what is a polymorphism? Polymorphism we can call as a many forms. Same method will give same method of a class will give different output. Polymorphism we can divide into two forms. This is just for our reference. Poly means many. Morphism means forms. This is just for our reference. If you forgot anytime, you can remember this. Polymorphism is many forms. Polymorphism is called many forms. Same method of a class will give different output. Here in manager1 class, we have a method multiply int a comma int b. I am just multiplying those variables and I am returning the value. Whenever I am calling the method multiply by passing integer values, I will get the output of integer. Whenever I am calling the same multiply method by passing the double values, I will get the output of double. So here, same method, multiply method will give the different output. Manager1 class multiply method, I am calling two times with the two different arguments. We have same method multiply, but whenever we call the method with the different values, we will give the different output. That is called polymorphism. Polymorphism is a two types. How many types of polymorphism is there? Two types. First one is static polymorphism. Second one is runtime polymorphism. Static polymorphism we can call as a compile time polymorphism. Now whatever we have example, class manager1, public static int multiply. Another method we have public static double multiply, which is having two double arguments. This is called static polymorphism. Here, whenever we are compiling this manager1, whatever members are there, all static members will load into the memory, which we can access by using the class name. So whenever we are compiling this program manager1, at the compile time itself, we have two different methods. If you call the two different methods, we'll get the different output. And we can see now what is a runtime polymorphism. We're taking one example. Class parent have void print method. System.out.println of parent print method. I'm just printing system.out.println. I have class child1 extends parent. I'm just extending inherits parent class member to the child class, child1 class. Here, I'm just overriding this method. Print system.out.println of child1